Welcome, welcome. This is Dee with the Single Mom Unguided Life, and I'm just here to talk about my emergency fund plans and my debt payoff plans. Now, for me, I'm a natural spender. Therefore, it took a lot of turning on and turning off to ensure that I create a budget system that works for my household, as well as a plan to save. Now, a history about saving is that with saving, I have a lot of negative feelings behind it. I always felt like when I put money aside, there was either something bad that happened, and that bad that happened used to take all of that money of savings and or more than what I had for savings. So I really felt like if I didn't have it, then it was no reason for someone to come take it. That is something I had to deal with, especially with going on with a lot of things that's been going on, to ensure that I create these good money habits that I can pass on to my son. So when I created my budget plan in October 2019 and vowed to be consistent, I decided in November 2019 to go ahead and take the portion of my bonus and put it towards a savings account that I've had for like 15 plus years. It is high interest. I just was not putting any good use to it by leaving any money in there. Well, on December 21st, my son came down the stairs and he said he was aching. And I said, well, go ahead. It may be because we're exercising with ROTC and you just need to relax your muscles. So I sent him upstairs to take a bath, and I told him to put Epsom salt in there to just relax. Well, after he did that, he came, I checked him out, and he had a fever. He felt feverish, should I say, because I didn't at this time take his temperature. So he felt feverish. And so I went ahead and gave him some Tylenol, and then I did the Tylenol bit the whole time. And then I was giving him liquids. He wasn't really eating. So it was just me making sure, keeping liquids on his stomach, and then making sure the Tylenol. So the fever was going up and down, up and down. Sunday, when I woke up because I felt like something was like on fire. And lo and behold, with my son, usually when he's sick, and he does not get sick often, like I can't remember the last time he was sick, he stays under me. So that's what woke me, his body temperature. And so with the pressure of my family, I went ahead and took him to urgent care. They didn't have any flu kits, but based on his symptoms, they diagnosed him with flu, gave me the prescription for Tamiflu. I went ahead and I filled that prescription, and then and he took it. And this particular prescription, I think Tamiflu was he takes it for 5 days or so. So Sunday would have been a partial day, and then we have the rest of the days. Well, on Monday, he still was not feeling well. He still hadn't been eating. So I went ahead and took Monday off. After taking Monday off, I went ahead and I had to make a decision because I didn't have enough time. I didn't have any paid time left. I only had unpaid time, and I only had a small portion of unpaid time. I decided just to take the day without pay. And so I knew that it had to be made up somewhere. I didn't know where, but it had to be made up. So I knew that in January, when January came, that the bills will not be covered based on my check, because I was missing a day. So luckily, I had put that little money aside from my bonus into the savings, because that's what I used to actually cover January bills. Now, that's where my negative feelings come from. As soon as I save, something bad happens. So I felt like, oh my goodness, I saved and my son got sick. I start to freak out and think to myself, I don't need to save because I don't want nothing else to happen to nobody else. But then I got this positive feeling of relief that I had a backup plan. And that to me really motivated me to ensuring that I came up with a real plan to save money towards an emergency fund that can be used for unexpected expenses along the way and or loss of income that cannot cover my expenses. So that's how I created my emergency fund worksheet. This worksheet here is something that I use for my household, and it talks about the things of my household. So I believe that the emergency fund should only cover your living expenses, not your lifestyle. So I'm not looking for this fund to cover a mani, a pedi, my hair, the cable. No. I'm making sure that it's keeping us afloat and living to be able to go about our day as normal as possible. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to look into is housing or shelter. You need to secure where you live. And for me, I'm a renter and my rent is $715. You want to secure the contents of the dwelling. So I have my renter's insurance, which is $25.54. And then I do have additional insurances of $3.25. And that is for my valuable property. The items that's not covered my renter's insurance is like jewelry or musical instruments, etc. I purchase additional insurance to cover those items. The next thing now is transportation for me. I need to secure how I get around. My mode is currently a car, and I have a car payment of $280.14. The water is variable, but the highest water bill I ever received was $100, so that's where I'm going to target. My electric is on an equal payment plan budget, which means that 11 months out of the year it's the same amount, and then the 12th month I pay the current bill plus any leftover amount that from the previous month. Now, in another video, I'll tell you how I keep this down, like the 12th month bill down, as well as, unfortunately for me, the last few years, I've had credits. So I'll definitely speak about that another time. Next is internet. When you cut off everything else, you want to keep that internet because it is the foundation of a lot of things. A lot of devices that you use that you can find entertainment and stream and so on and so forth. So this is what I'm looking to fund. So I'm just going to add all of this up. So all that up. And so that's $2,126.86. And that is how much I need to actually cover my living expenses. Now I'll take this information from the worksheet and I input this in my progress sheet. So I'm just going to copy the following information over. Okay, so now what does this look like? Okay, so the first thing this looks like is for 1 month, it's $2,126.86. For 3 months, that is $6,380.58. For 6 months, it's just double the 3 months, so we're going to times it by 2. So that's $12,761.16. Okay, so based on that, I need to be able to know where I'm at in funding this emergency fund. So currently with this emergency fund, and just to give you a heads up, this is just the emergency fund that is set for my net income. I do have other things that's allotted out of my gross pay prior to me getting this money to allot to other things. So yes, it may look like, oh, that's all you got. No, this is what I have on hand for myself to be able to start good habits of saving. So right now it's $2,498.59. So then I say to myself, does this meet my 1 month goal? Yes, I put a check. That means that I don't need anything for the 1 month goal. Does that cover my 3 months goal? That's a fat no. Okay. And if it does not, what do I need to reach that goal? So I take the goal amount of $6,380.58. I minus where I'm at with the progress at $2,498.59. So I need $3,881.99. So then I go to the next category. Do I have enough to cover 6 months? Heck no, I couldn't cover 3 months. So I'm just going to put an X there. So what do I need to be able to cover my 6 months? And that will be my fully funded emergency fund. So I just do the same calculations. And that is, I need $10,262.57. And this is what I do monthly, is I look over my progress with this emergency fund sheet and be able to tell exactly where I'm at with meeting the goals. The emergency fund worksheet may require me to adjust. So I periodically look at this sheet. Like I said, that for my insurance, it started off the year with $89. It went up to $101 when I got the new vehicle. And then I made some changes for the renewal. And so it went up $3. So that became $104. So whenever I make changes to these expenses or any changes of these expenses, I go ahead and update the sheet, which in essence will update my goal sheet and then where I'm actually sitting at. So that's my emergency fund. Now let's talk about my debt. So with my debt, I have 9 total debts this year, and I'm going to list everything from the beginning of the year, and then I'll explain everything further. So we have the medical bill for my son going to the urgent care in December. We have state taxes, and this is 3 previous years and the current year. We have 3 401k loans that will be listed. We have the medical loan, which is a consolidation of my 2018 bills. We have the car loan. My previous car was totaled in February, so I had to purchase a new vehicle in March. And we have 2 credit cards. Now, I think of the first 7 debts as inactive debts. As I pay these debts off, they're gone. These last 2 debts are active debts. These are debts are revolving. I do not plan to do away with them. They're always going to be in some type of rotation for me. My goal is to make sure I'm managing it well. So let's start about the medical bill. The starting balance was $212.25 in the beginning of the year. Okay. In the beginning of July, this bill was already paid off in May. So I didn't have a payment in July, nor interest, nor did I have to pay the debt. So that left a 0 balance. For taxes, the beginning year was $563.85. I paid that off in June. So in the beginning of July, it did not have any payment, no interest, nothing was paid, and it had an ending balance of 0 in July. For the first loan, the balance was $537.45. And then I made a payment of $55.32. That left with an interest of $2.70. Now, though it shows interest here, and usually the interest decreases the payment that we make, my payments all go towards the loan. Within the loan, it breaks it down with the interest in the principal, but everything that I pay to it goes to it. And so I'm going to show you real quick what I mean by that. So the starting balance is $537.45, and then I made a payment. Excuse me. Then I have to add this interest because it goes into here because it all comes back to me. So the $270, I earned interest of $2.70, so it goes to this starting balance, and then I minus the $55.32, and it leaves me with a $484.83 balance. Now for my medical loan, they're not that nice. So it's a starting balance of $1,261.93. My payment is $60.58. The interest on here is variable, so that's why I want to get rid of this so fast, because it's based on the market, and luckily the last 3 months of the market has not been well, so I have received low interest on it. But I just want to get rid of it because I just don't want to have something that's always going to be lingering around. So that actually left me with a amount to pay to DOT of $51.27. And that left me with $1,210.66 that was left for the medical loan. Now for my second loan, I have $1,608.30. I have $36.08 that I paid towards it. It did have an $8.01 interest that's added to the starting balance. That means that I still paid towards that debt $36.08, and I left the balance of $1,580.23. For the loan, the third loan is $1,645.74. So that left I made a payment of $52.23. The interest added to the starting balance was $12.24, which left a $52.23 that I actually paid to the debt, with a balance left of $1,605.75. So the car loan started a balance of $12,855.22. I made 2 payments that actually fell into the same 30-day period. I think it was 30 days. And so it reflected as if I paid extra, which is totally fine. And that's why it shows that I'm ahead when I do my monthly budget. So that left me with $226.26 actually went towards the interest. So actually $334.02 went towards principal. And I left the balance of $12,521.20. Now the credit cards is a little bit different. Because they are my active debts, I list them at the bottom of the list. Additionally, I always write the total amount of the purchases next to the credit card to ensure that I am keeping account of how much I'm spending on each credit card. For credit card number 1, I made 2 purchases that totaled $240.76. Now for credit card number 2, I'm actually writing the wrong amount on here. Because I made 2 purchases thus far, one of the purchases I received a credit. Therefore, it was actually less that I paid for it. So the total should actually be $635.43. And you should be seeing this now. And now I'm explaining the purchases. For this year, I had to make a purchase in April. I paid off the small balance that I had for that in May. And then I just made another purchase in the end of July. So that's why there was no starting balance in the beginning. Therefore, no payment, no interest, and no amount that I paid. But I did leave a balance of $209.71 that is reflected in the ending balance of July. Now for credit card 2, I actually paid this credit card off in March. I made a purchase in the end of March. I paid off that. So in June, that had a balance of $308.63. I actually made a payment of $308.63 to pay off that balance. There's no interest on that card, and therefore the amount that I paid was $308.63. I made a purchase at the end of July, so left the balance $155. So this is how my debt looks like for 2020 as of August. So we're just going to calculate these numbers real quick. So with the starting balance, I'm going to include everything here, and I'm going to show you that it's important to do that because it helps me with determining what I'm actually paying off. Let me just do this real quick. So now I'm at 240.76, and then I'm going to add this 791.63. So that's a grand total of $717.13. So that goes here. Now I'm going to minus the last two calculations, and I'm just going to add the last one. And so this is what I'm sitting at right now, and I don't feel like that is right, so I'm just going to double check that. So, oh, it's not right. Let me cross that out. So 899.324. I gotta minus this 2 at the top. Okay, so that's $18,217.14. Now for the payments that I made is $1,073.12. The interest that I paid thus far is $258.52. And the amount that I paid to debt was $837.55. Now, the ending balance is $484.83, 1210. So that's $17,767.38. So I'm just going to move this information down here. So this month is 18,217.14. The ending balance will be the same for both. So currently for the month of July, I paid off $449.60. No, that looks off. I don't know, that looks off. Yeah, that's 27 minus 17767.38. So that's 449.89. And then the 19,717.13 minus 17767.38. And so far I paid this year $1,949.75. So this is where we're sitting at with my monthly debt for the starting of the month of August. So we got a ways to go, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I am just taking it one day at a time. Thank you for watching, and please like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.